Okay, here we have a crystal set I made about 10 years ago. It's double tuned, it's self-contained, um, meaning that it's just one unit, not a separate antenna and detector unit. Uh, Nothing new in terms of circuitry. It's based upon a lot of other people's ideas. Dave Schmarter for one, and Jim Fredericks is another one that I've seen some really nice sets made by. And this one's a little different now. I have the capacitors ganged up so that there's one tuning control rather than two knobs for tuning. They're doing the main tuning. And now that main tuning control is right here. You can see how it turns the dial pointer. That dial was made on a computer. And here's the antenna control. It's kind of like a fine tuning. It's just a series cap with the antenna. Phone jacks, you got different phone jacks here, eighth, quarter, banana, and binding posts. And you have the phone selector, which is just the rotary switch connected to the Bogen transformer. And on top there's one more control which controls the coupling, the coil. Just rotate it like so. And some pictures of this are on Dave Schmarter's MakeARadio.com in the Crystal Radio forum section. Got a few pictures of it. And I'm going to turn it around and show you the back and then take the lid off and we'll look inside a little bit. Here's the rear view. The back panel is a piece of Lawan. And you can see the antenna and ground binding posts. I also have a phone jack and a cable TV jack here. If you want to use those for antennas, they do work. That little knob there controls the differential capacitor. That adjusts the coupling, not the coupling, but the impedance match to the detector coil, I guess you might say. And again, you see from the top, we're looking inside now. I'm just going to pause and take the lid off and we'll look inside a little better. Okay, now we're looking inside. You can see the caps and the dial cord. I'm just going to reach over here and turn it from the front. And that's how it goes. Like so. And we have the Schottky diode. There's the Bogen and the rotary switch. Turn it around. That's the differential capacitor and the choke coil, which I salvaged from an old radio. Nice coil. And that's about it. And the way it works very well, considering that the caps are ganged and you can't really turn them independently, but the antenna trimmer does give you some. Here we go, the antenna trimmer. That gives you some ability to adjust to your antenna. It's almost like a little bit of a fine-tuning deal. But the way I get these to track is I make the coils and the caps as close in value as I can, and then with them fully meshed, I start rotating them till I get a point where I can get the best reception, maybe around the middle of the dial. And what I do is after the dials are strung, you have to physically hold one and forcibly rotate the other one to get like a fine adjustment, or whatever you want to call it, just to get an adjustment rather, so that they track as well as you could possibly get on the track. Then at the high end, I try to do it again. Then I'll do it again at the low end. And I have a trimmer right here on the antenna cap. You can see a trimmer. That helps somewhat in trying to get it to track, but the tracking is great. And the way I evaluate the performance of the set is, can I receive, there's some foreign language stations right around some of these real strong stations around here. They're much fainter and weaker stations. If I can get them separated and hear them pretty clearly, then I know the selectivity is halfway decent. And on this one I can do all that. I get all the Asian stations right on either side of 1430, AM. I'm about 8 miles east of New York City, by the way, so I'm loaded with these blowtorch stations around here. And if I can get those two Asian stations on either side of 1430, it's working out well. If I get the Asian station at 1660, I know I have a halfway decent selectivity, and also 970 AM right below 1010 winds. If I can just go right to that without a lot of fussing around, then which I can do with this set, then I guess I'm in pretty good shape. I don't use instruments too much to do any evaluation. I just base it on what I can hear, more or less. If I can hear the stations that I need to hear, and they're not drowned out by the likes of WOR, WABC, and all the other ones, then I guess I'm doing okay. So anyway, that's this set. Another thing I use for grounding sometimes is this arrangement here. It's just a three-prong plug, but the two metal ones are replaced with plastic, and just the metal prong is left. And this makes a really good ground as long as your electrical outlets are properly grounded. Works just as well as any ground can work, as long as, like I said, you have a good ground with your electrical outlets. So I use that for a ground sometimes. Anyway, that's the story with this set. And I have a bunch of other ones I'll be doing soon too. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks, bye.